Hey, what's up guys? So I wanted to do a quick knife review on the Bear & Sons 114 black satin large butterfly knife. This comes with a 4-inch blade, about 5-inch handles, and I just wanted to do a review on it because I feel like this is a good entry-level balisong for people who are wanting to get into flipping but that don't really have the money to really get like a $400 knife. So want to get into a little bit about what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and yeah, so I've owned the knife for now about 2 or 3 months, flipping it pretty heavily. Now I gotta say, one substantial thing about this that's different from my other balisongs is the weight. This is a pretty heavy balisong. I got the specs on my phone right here, give me 1 second. I don't want to misquote anything, but let's see. The blade style is a clip point. So that's right here. The blade material is 440C stainless steel. It's got a 3.75 inch cutting edge. The blade length is 4 inches. The overall length opened up is 9 inches. The handle material is zinc. The thickness is 0.44 inches. The handle length is 5 inches. The edge type is plain. Its blade grind is hollow. The finish is satin. So first I want to talk about overall feel. So the overall feel of the knife is pretty decent. It's got a good, I don't have the biggest hands in the world for a guy, but it has a pretty good feel in the hand. It's not too bad when it comes to flipping. I wouldn't say it's the best flipper in the world. It's definitely not the worst. So with the weight, I have a pro and a con about it. So the weight is 5.60 ounces. So the pro about having a heavier knife like this is it makes rollovers easier. The extra weight can really just wrap it around your finger and it's not hard to catch and grab. It's got a nice feel to it. It's very tactile. The con, as you can look at my finger right here, I've cut my finger since starting this video. And the reason is because the heavier the knife, the more velocity you have to put into those rollovers. And when you have a fairly sharp blade with a higher velocity, you're going to get a deeper cut. I'm used to cutting my hand now. I don't think it's something you ever get fully used to, but I am used to it. I have little cuts all over my hands. So yeah, that's the weight is something to keep in mind if this is something you're thinking about buying. So the next thing I want to talk about is the blade quality. So it is a fairly sharp blade, like I said, 440C steel. I did, however, already lose the tip of the knife because I was flipping it over cement and I fell point down onto the cement. And yeah, and also I've kind of started to see little chips in the blade from where just, I guess it's hit my skin and also just hit the ground a couple of times. So not the strongest blade. I think it'd be easy to resharpen. But since I use it for flipping and not so much recreational right now, I don't see the point in having a super sharp knife when I'm doing this with a not so sharp knife. So as I previously stated, this is the heaviest knife I think I own. I own like 5 or 6 butterfly knives now, and this is the heaviest one by far, by at least an ounce or two. As far as flipping goes, it's okay. I won't say it's the best flipper I've ever owned. I'm a little bit more of a fan of a lighter knife, but it's not the worst either. I will say this about this specific balisong though. When I am flipping it, I do flip it with more caution than with my others, because like I said, I'm more comfortable with a less weighted balisong. This one has cut me quite a bit more than others, and can't really fault the knife or the company for that. It's actually just because of my personal preference of having a lighter balisong. So I do use a little bit more precaution when I am flipping this, and I'm doing a trick that requires a little bit more speed because I have been cut by this blade plenty of times before, like I said, and it's not fun. Let's go to the latch real quick while we're talking about just the knife in general. So the latch is, it's to be expected from a $35 balisong. It kind of just hangs around. It does get in the way of tricks sometimes. It does actually hit the blade. In fact, I think that's where a lot of the blade damage at the top comes from, is actually hitting the latch. I will say it does still lock in place when it's closed, and when it's open, it still locks, which surprises me because as loose as the latch is, I guess because of how thick the handles are, the latch can still catch and actually work out pretty well. As far as aerials goes, it's a pretty consistent flipper. Um, so, you know, maybe that's a good thing about a heavier knife also. Sometimes these other ones are unpredictable. So all in all, like I said, it's not a bad knife. I do use more precaution when I'm doing heavier tricks and things like that, but I tell you, I don't regret the purchase, and I think it's a great knife if you're just starting out. You don't want to spend that much. Woo. Sorry, I didn't think I was going to catch that one. I do think that you should try maybe a heavier knife and also maybe a lighter one to kind of see where you stand with how you want to flip and things like that, because lighter ones do flip faster. They do also roll out of your hand, like when you're doing a Y2K or something. You know, sometimes I've actually had it flip and then it just flips completely out of my hand because it's so light and I don't catch it. So I do think it's a preference thing, but for how this one is, it's really not a bad knife. For the price, 35 bucks, it's not a bad deal. It says it's marked down from like 50. I would even pay 50 for it just because of how expensive some of these other knives are. But yeah, just starting out, Bear & Son, not a bad knife. I hope you enjoyed the review of the Bear & Son 114L Black Satin Butterfly Knife. If you did, please consider subscribing. Leave a like on the video. Leave a comment if there's anything you want to know about it that I didn't cover in this video. And I will see you guys in the next video.